This is funny. Haley's like, okay, I grew up and family dinner was a thing in my life. Family dinner was exciting. My parents were all about it. And now that I'm a parent and I have a 6 and 8-year-old, it's like trying to invite wild mongoose to my table.
Oh, I hear that.
They ravish the food or they don't like it, and it's not a joy. It's like, this is the worst part of parenting, is trying to get my kids to a family dinner. I so looked forward to it when I was pregnant, and now I'm doing it. It's like, come on. I get it.
Yeah, there are some parts of parenting that, you love, and then there's parts that you really don't like. My daughter sent me an Instagram.
Oh, what happened?
This was just yesterday, which is hilarious, and it said, motherhood is so weird. Like, I would die for you, but I really don't want to make you dinner tonight.
Right?
I hear that because, I would throw myself in front of a speeding car to keep my child from getting harmed, even as an adult. But I do not want to make you tacos this evening.
Come on.
I just don't.
Right?
I'm tired. I just want to lay down.
So Scott has thoughts about this. So, okay. Scott, okay, you say the best part of parenting. No, let's start with the worst. What's the worst part of parenting, you said?
So I totally agree with this whole dinner time thing because my kids want a diner. They want a menu and they want their own meal. I made soup the other night. They turned their nose up at it. When I was growing up, it was like, this is what you have to eat or bust. And my kids are like, I think I'll have the chicken nuggets tonight. Well, that's not what we're having.
No,
we're not having
right?
that tonight.
So. We go to one restaurant, and my youngest wants to go to Mickey D's. Right. It's like we're not going there, and then there's a fit.
Yeah.
So best part of parenting.
The best part for me, I love the occasional hugs, kind of little spontaneous hugs, and just watching them grow up. It is so fun to just watch them change and become the people, the character traits and things like that. Really fun.
Like that. Best and worst of parenting, 800-447-7234.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
It is Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
Talking about the best of parenting and the worst of parenting. Because there's both. And they're wrapped up in one, right?
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, there's good and bad to everything. Even parenting.
Just got an open mic in about this. The open mic, which is on the My HISRadio app.
So I agree. The best part of parenting is just watching them grow and all the spontaneous little hugs and the kisses and the silly stories from my little one. The worst part of parenting is that no one told me that the 14-year-old and the 4-year-old were basically going to have the same attitude. It's kind of shocking.
And did you hear the age spread?
Yes.
14 and 4. And both the same attitude.
There may be some in the middle, but that the 4-year-old either has the teen attitude or the 14-year-old
if that's the bookends, right? Jennifer's here at 800-447-7234. Okay, let's start with the worst part.
The emotions. They're up, down, all around every day. I have girls. It never stops.
What happened recently?
Yesterday, I was not having a good day. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible day. And I was standing in the kitchen crying, and my oldest comes over to me. She goes, "It's okay, Mom. I got it. Tell me what you want me to do." And I was like, and that just made me cry more because I was emotional. And then she showed that empathy, and I was just done.
So that was the best part of parenting, is getting that back.
Yes, that was incredible. But the best part of parenting, in my opinion, it's all about watching them grow up and change. I've been a single mom 14 years, and my oldest is a rising senior in high school, and she's going to graduate as a certified welder. My youngest is a rising sophomore, and she'll be lucky to graduate with all her makeup done and hair up.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I feel so bad for this one fishing tournament that happened because the people who won it didn't win it. How do you win it and not win it all at the same time? So here's the prize money. Are you ready for this? $3.5 million.
To catch a fish?
Catch a fish. So they're pulling in this one fish. It's a big tournament that's off of North Carolina coast. And they get the biggest fish. And it took them so long to get it in. And it weighed such an extreme amount of pounds. It took them 6 hours to reel this thing in. And then when the judges got a hold of it, they saw it, and biologists were involved in it. It was a big deal. We're talking a lot of money here, $3.5 million for the cash prize, right? So it turns out that the fish was injured because it was bitten by a shark before they caught it. So it's not the prize catch.
But it gave up a fight. If it took 6 hours for them to reel it in, that tells me the fish still had a lot of fight left. It wasn't like it was, chomped in half or something. I mean, it was.
Chomped.
I'm just saying.
That was such the visual.
I mean, it's
Wow.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
How many times do you swipe? Why do we need to know this? How many times do you swipe the deodorant on your armpit? Why the question?
So I just started thinking about it. We were talking about just smells and deodorant and all this, unscented and scented.
Well,
and all
something
this.
about Joey. I mean, what's
Yeah.
up?
So my husband, he uses so much deodorant. I'm thankful for it.
Well, okay,
I love the way he
explain
smells.
so much deodorant, please.
Okay. I'll make the noise. So raise the arm and it's like 16 swipes
Okay.
under each armpit.
Evidently, he uses a stick and not a spray.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, the spray hurts sometimes. Anyway, maybe just for women because we shave up under there and it burns. But it is. It's like, and then I'm like, oh my goodness. And then we go to the other arm.
No, there's about 16 swipes. You're
feel
estimating your
Right.
Okay.
So I wish I were there so I could actually count. So me is like a, and I'm done.
Up, down, and that's it.
I'm done.
I mean, Luke has a theory on this. He's our intern, and Luke has how many swipes is it for you, Luke?
You just do one up, one down, and if I feel like that's not enough, I'll apply a little bit more.
Okay, see, I would be in the middle between Luke and Liz's husband, Joey. I need to know that I'm not going to smell 10 hours later.
But I need you to recreate it. I need to, for Luke, it's
I
going to
don't.
be.
Listen, I'm not going to do any sound effects. I just
Why?
go maybe 5 times.
Okay, raise
Just
your arm.
make
Let me
sure-
do the sound.
No, I don't need to do no sound effect.
Come on. That's
Listen, all it is you move the stick up and down a couple of, probably 5 times for me.
5 times each armpit.
Yeah. So a total. If you need a total of 10.
Okay,
there
so
you go.
10 for you. I'm really, I thought maybe 8. And then I started counting it back in my head for my husband. And it's got to be like 15 or 16. Hold
Come
on.
on.
Yeah,
Listen to this.
It's like,
She,
but he smells so good.
then there you go. See, if he did less, it'd be horrific. You'd run.
Well, because
He wants to keep you around.
he does want to keep me around. So keep it going.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Something can take place that'll energize your day. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
I feel like we've heard of these things before, but it's a good reminder that if you get up first thing in the morning and you eat something and you drink something, your body starts working. And that's going to help energize
What if
you.
I'm intermittent fasting?
Well, then that's different. I can't help you with that.
Okay,
you know
thank
what
you.
you can do? You can work out first thing in the morning.
Okay.
You can walk out, get a little sunshine, a little vitamin D.
Yeah, but it's dark right now.
Okay, but in a minute. Okay, you can also listen to music. Can you do that?
No.
You can't listen to
No,
music.
I'm not going to. See, I'm going to be the negative guy.
You
Keep
are
going.
to be. Okay, stick to a regular wake time.
Oh, I can't. It's got to vary.
You get up at the same time every day.
She's right. I'm the most routine guy there is.
And I think that's part of it. We all get stuck in a routine. I feel like we all have our
Did Liz just say I'm in a rut?
yes, but I also said I'm in a rut.
Okay, so Liz is in a rut.
I get up.
I'm in a routine. Liz is in a rut.
No, we're both in a rut.
Oh,
Listen,
thank you.
you get up, you go straight. What's the first stop? You go tinkle, right?
Yeah, the porcelain bowl. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you for letting people know I go to the restroom in the morning.
Who doesn't? I feel like who doesn't go tinkle first thing in the morning?
It's a visual I didn't need, but go ahead.
So we go into the restroom. Okay, then I wash my face and I brush my teeth. Is that different than Rob?
Yes.
What do you do second?
Well, I do wash my hands, just for the record.
Well,
okay.
Okay, it's all.
Then I go down.
yes.
Why are we talking about this? I go down and I put away the dishes, and then I work out.
Before you brush your teeth?
Yeah, I take a shower later.
Oh.
I'm not talking to anybody.
No, I got to do that. I got to get them teethers done right away, and then I have a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Okay, here's where I think we vary. I put on my face.
My face is already on.
Yeah, but I have to put a little paint on the barn.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Just got an open mic in for the My HISRadio app. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, His Radio. So there was a discussion about how you store blueberries. And evidently, some people have been doing it wrong. You don't put it in the crisper drawer. You put a paper towel at the bottom of the thing. Don't put it in a sealed container. Ways to freeze it and stuff like that. And so this open mic just came in through the My HISRadio app.
On the whole berries thing, I heard that if you put strawberries in a mason jar, they last up to 2 weeks. But that's a completely sealed jar, so I have no idea. But that's what I've heard, and I've done it once, and it seemed to work.
Well, that's good to hear.
I wonder how that works.
What, a mason jar?
Yeah, like how
Well,
it-
you unscrew the top, and then you put the berries in it, and then you screw the top back in.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
I know.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Today, you're going to see a victory. Stand on that. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, His Radio.
Allison is so sneaky. She gets on the Nextdoor app and she is telling all of her neighbors, I want you to show up on this day at this time and I want you to bring your dog. It's real important that you bring your dog.
Sounds like a really special occasion.
Really special. Her daddy was turning 100.
100?
Yeah, and so they were going to celebrate with him, and he is such a dog lover. 200 dogs showed up. 200 dogs showed up. They had kind of a parade. Like the line to see the dad was all the way down the street.
Where'd
and
they do
around.
this? Like at
Like in
a
their
church,
subdivision.
in a
No,
parking lot?
Yeah, the front yard, basically.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
he sat in his front yard?
Yeah.
And they paraded
They
the dogs
paraded.
in front of him.
Yep.
That's
and he
pretty awesome.
Loved it. And I don't know how long it took, but there was even one dog that came and the little dog was in like a little wheelchair type situation.
No.
So he must have had some issues with his legs. And, Dad really related to that pup and they had a good long chat. But yeah, all kinds of different breeds. And he loved on
Sounds like the best birthday ever for him.
I want that birthday this year. That sounds like so much fun.
Okay, so we'll set it up. We'll line in front of Liz's house on the sidewalk and bring 200 dogs by.
I just felt this joy in my soul thinking about something like
Well,
that.
that sounds kind of simple for her birthday.
Yay!
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I'm really not into golf that much.
Me either.
America's Open LPGA Tour just wrapped up, and Rose Zhang, I said her last name right?
I believe so.
Rose Zhang won the whole thing. And she, of course, is at a press conference. And wait till you hear what she said.
I grew up in a Christian household, and going into college, I really wanted to, have an identity outside of golf, because sometimes as an athlete, it's, it kind of takes a toll on you if you think that golf is your whole world. And for me, I realized that being Christian is very much my identity, and knowing that there's a higher power above that's always watching over me and always working to become better as a child of God is something that I've been trying to work on, that I will continue to work on throughout my whole life.
Identifying that her higher power is God, the creator of the universe, and that her identity is in Christ because of her Christian faith.
And this is incredible. I love that we're hearing these stories, and it seems like we're getting a different story every week. Last week, I think it was Oklahoma softball player champions, Grace Lyons, also kind of in a press conference and in a YouTube video, shared her faith in Christ and the platforms that they are using just to say, this is where I put my hope. It's not softball. It's not golf. It is in Christ Jesus.
And that it's okay to be open about your faith.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to want to hide it, but there are those that surround my life. I'm like, why can't I just talk about it? And I can. So that encourages me to be just a little bit more vocal about who I live for and that my identity is in Christ.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, His Radio.
Yeah, Natalie gets an invite for her son, Evan, to go to a kid's birthday party. And they're like kindergarten. They're 5 years old. And so she loved the invite. I'm going to read it because it is hilarious. So she said, okay, you are invited to this birthday party. This event is brought to you by Pinterest Fails and the Dollar Store. So set your expectations appropriately. As requested, the theme will be unicorns, but with rainbows, maybe a few bats thrown in. There might be a princess, also Minnie Mouse, and we need dancing lights. So this is what her daughter had asked to be at the birthday party. So dress accordingly. Please pack a bathing suit, sunscreen, puddle jumpers, etc., in case your sweet baby angels decide our original plan is not good and the pool would be a better time spent. If you, the parent, wants to drop and run, we support that entirely.
Oh, very nice.
Liz, I think that is hilarious because when parents, and I'm speaking my own experience, when you get an invite for your child to go to a birthday party, you have 2 hours off.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, thank goodness.
See, I stayed with my kid.
Some I do. If I don't know the parents that well, I would.
That's me.
Exactly.
That's
if
me.
I know you, you're my babysitter for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We had a parent that almost did a drop and roll with their child. They showed up at our daughter's, I think she was like 9 or 10. And it was like you heard with the tires screeching as she came into the parking lot of, the venue. And the kid rolled out and mom's like, bye. And
so
she was
open the
gone.
door, close the door, took off. There's the kid standing.
Yes, and we didn't.
Oh, come on.
We didn't know them that well, and I thought I could never do that.
I can't.
But I get it. I get. She just needed a minute.
We don't know what she was thinking.
We don't know.
There was
no
a
idea.
moment, and the tires squealed, and it was like, see ya.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Well, I'm far from an expert, okay? I'm not the aficionado when it comes to putting things in the fridge so that they last longer, like fruit.
Okay.
But I was reading about berries, and I'm like, wow, I better check to see how I'm actually putting them in the fridge. I had no idea. So they last longer. They spoil pretty quick.
Yeah, they do.
No, when it comes to fruit and stuff like that, all of a sudden you got the white wilted stuff on it, and you're like, ah.
Or the hair.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When it starts growing hair and you have to put, gel in it and comb it, take it off to great clips or something like that, you forget it. But I'm hearing that, where do you store your berries?
I usually just store them on a shelf in the refrigerator.
Okay, well, she's doing right. So Liz is doing right because you're not supposed to put it in the crisper drawer.
Which is weird to me. Then why have a crisper drawer?
I know, right? And then they say put paper towel underneath it, a wet paper towel underneath it. Okay, so it draws the moisture. So she's doing some right. But don't put it in a sealed container because it traps the air and it spoils faster.
Yeah, it
I
causes
didn't know
humidity.
Those things.
I would think.
I didn't know those things. And if you put it in the freezer, I never thought of this. They say first put it on a baking sheet, the berries, and spread them out, let them freeze, and then put them in the plastic bag. Because if they're frozen together, they're going to rip apart and stuff like that. I thought that sounds kind of brilliant.
Total sense because I have frozen, like when you go to the store and even the bagged fruit that you buy, and then I immediately put it in the freezer, and then when you go to use it, it's in big clumps.
Exactly. They say that's how it will not clump up. Because you freeze them first, separate it, and then take them off the cookie sheet or whatever the sheet is that you put in there, and then put them in the plastic bag.
Okay, so that makes sense. If you're baking with, let's say, blueberries, you have to cover them with flour first before you put them in whatever it is you're baking so that they don't clump up and sink to the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm seeing that Ninja had not heard that. Her eyes just got really,
Oh, really?
long.
Because Ninja, our producer, has been getting into a lot of cooking lately. The sourdough, breathing bread thing and all that stuff.
Breathing bread.
That'll be so helpful.
Yeah, just
I
cover
didn't
it.
think about it.
Yeah, toss those berries in some flour and then put it in your cake or your muffins or whatever, and they won't sink to the bottom.
Wow.
I love sharing.
Sharing is caring.